Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to Post Cologne. Today I'm going to give you 7 panty drop-in sexy time fragrances that I think you should know about. So let's jump into it. All right, so today we are talking sexy fragrances. We are talking absolute fire date night fragrances, panty drop-in fragrances, or boxer drop-in fragrances, depending on who you're trying to seduce in your life. These fragrances are absolute fire and they are guaranteed to work. You don't even need to be good looking. You don't need to have a personality. You don't need to be working on yourself, be financially stable, or even emotionally stable. These fragrances just do all the work for you. That's all you have to do is apply them, and then 60% of the time, they work every time. So without further ado, let's jump in. All right, so first up on the list is one of my favorite date night fragrances, and it's also one of my girlfriend's favorite date night fragrances, and it's Armani's Stronger With You Intensely. Now, this fragrance you can pick up for about $87, $90 at various discounters. I'm gonna have links down below to all these fragrances if you decide you wanna check them out. This is just a gorgeous, sexy, intoxicating, like addictive style of fragrance. It's toffee, it's cinnamon, it's vanilla. It's got a touch of suede in there, a little bit of aromatics mixed in just to kind of round out the sweetness. But this is just a very sweet, syrupy, gourmand, alluring, sexy style of fragrance. Absolutely gorgeous scent profile on this. This is one of my absolutely favorite, like gourmand, sweet style of fragrances. Just absolutely delicious. And the performance on this is fantastic as well. I get 8-10 hours of longevity off this, and the projection for the first 2-3 hours, really nice. It does push out quite well, and then it does settle back in. But hopefully by that time you're cuddling up with somebody. So it doesn't even matter how much you're projecting because you got your little sweetheart with you and you're cuddled up all nice and cozy. Very warm, very seductive. Awesome fragrance. Definitely think it's worth having in your collection. It's Stronger With You Intensely. All right, next up on the list, we're moving into a fragrance that's a little bit more on the fun and flirty side. It's ARMANI's 9 p.m. Now you can pick this up for about $25 to $40 at various discounters. And this has been said to be a clone dupe inspired by of Jean-Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male. And I would have to agree, this definitely gets you in that neighborhood. One of the main differences is Ultra Male has a pear note, whereas this has an apple note, and the apple note in here is absolutely delicious. Very sweet, juicy style of apple, mixed with a little bit of spicy cinnamon, a little bit of a light, clean, aromatic lavender. Just a gorgeous combination of notes in this opening. Very fun, very playful. As this develops, it gets a little bit more vanilla, adding a different style of sweetness to this. A little bit of amber and tonka, adding a little bit of warmth to this fragrance as well. As this kind of combines together, it's just a beautiful, sweet, sexy, intoxicating, flirty style of fragrance that I absolutely love and is definitely going to get you lots of positive attention. Performance on this will definitely outlast you. This is a 10+ hour beast mode fragrance off of my skin, and the projection for the first 2-3 hours, monstrous. This just pushes way out beyond an arm's length, and it just pushes and pushes. So you got to be careful with the sprays on this one. You don't want to be choking out your date. Bang for your buck. Awesome fragrance, perfect for date nights, something you should definitely be checking out. It's ARMANI's 9 p.m. All right, next up on the list, we have a fragrance that's gonna surprise a few of you. It's BVLGARI Wood Neroli. Now you can pick this fragrance up for about $35 for a 60 ml or $65 for a 100 ml. And let me tell you, this one actually surprised me. I did not buy this thinking it was going to be this panty drop-in, super sexy man style of fragrance. But it turns out it is. This is, my girlfriend absolutely loves this one. I randomly wore this one day and she had her nose buried in my neck, and the rest is none of your business. She just loves this fragrance. It has this nice gentleness to it, but also this kind of rugged masculinity at the same point. It's got this level of sweetness to it, mixed with some woods. It's sharp, it's clean, it's fresh, and it's just an absolutely intoxicating fragrance, apparently. She absolutely loves this one. It has a great combination of notes. It has this bergamot, this neroli, and this orange blossom that come together, giving it a very kind of citrusy yet sweet style of floral vibe to it. And then it mixes with this musk, some amber, and these nice deep woods that are in there, giving a little bit of warmth with that amber that's mixed in there, but those deep woods and that musk just adds the right level of musky or woodiness to it that just gives it a nice earthy balance to those floral notes and some of those sweet citrus notes. Just absolutely gorgeous scent profile on this. Performance on this is about average. I get about 6, maybe 7 hours of longevity off this. And the first hour and a half, this does push off fairly well before it does settle back in. But I was stunned with how well this one does. Absolute compliment monster. Blindsided me, but it is definitely worth checking out. It's BVLGARI Wood Neroli. All right, next up on the list, we're moving to a fragrance that's very bold, very masculine, and very familiar. It's LATTAFA Pride's Shaheen Silver. Now you can pick this up for about $35, and if you've been following my channel for a little while, or even just recently, you'll have seen that I just did a full review on this fragrance and told you that it's inspired by, dupe, clone of Creed Aventus, Club de Nuit Man, Mont Blanc Explorer. I was a little disappointed in that video because I was not expecting to get a clone of this new LATTAFA Pride series. But when it comes to that Creed Aventus style of DNA, I do have the Club de Nuit Man Intense, I do have the Mont Blanc Explorer, English Laundry's London, and a few other inspired buys of Creed Aventus, and I like this one the best. It has that classic mass appeal, crowd-pleasing style of DNA to it. It has a beautiful black currant style note to it. It has that citrus note into it, that kind of birchy, smoky, earthy style of woods, little touch of sweetness in the base, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. It's bold, it's masculine, it's sharp, and the ladies just really enjoy this kind of scent profile onto it. Performance on this is about 7-8 hours. Projection for the first hour and a half is really heavy, but it does settle in very quick. It pushes out very hard for the first hour and a half, but it does quickly kind of come back in. I absolutely love this fragrance. It is my favorite, inspired by a dupe of that Creed Aventus Hacivat style of DNA. And on the cheap for $35, I think this is, for me, the best pickup in terms of the Club de Nuit Man Mont Blanc. I enjoy this one much, much better. Just a gorgeous scent profile, that classic familiar DNA, and for $35, I definitely think it's worth checking out. It's LATTAFA Pride's Shaheen Silver. All right, next up on the list, we have ourselves the modern classic, a tried and true date night style of fragrance, and one of my absolute favorites from the line. It's Yves Saint Laurent's La Nuit de l'Homme. Now you can pick this up for about $90 for a full 100 ml bottle, and this fragrance is absolutely addictive to me. I love wearing this fragrance. It has this just gorgeous, gorgeous cardamom in there, this nice, bright, fresh style of lavender, this bright, sparkling citrus, and these gorgeous, warm, powdery style of woods that come through. Just an absolutely elegant, intoxicating, sophisticated, almost mysterious sort of vibe that goes on with this one. This one is an absolute compliment monster. This is super sexy. You're gonna have a lot of attention when you're wearing this one because it just has this mass appeal, crowd-pleasing sort of vibe going on to it that it just never fails. Anytime I wear this, I have someone comment on it because it's just an absolutely gorgeous scent profile. I think the cardamom in here is just really what does it for me. This just has this beautiful style of cardamom in this that just the right level of like sweetness and spiciness to it that just makes this absolutely sing off my skin, and I absolutely adore it. The one thing I do not like about it is the performance. I don't get great performance off of this. 5 to 6 hours of longevity perhaps. In the first hour, this pushes out fairly well before it does settle back in, but it becomes a nice, intimate, cozy scent at that point, and hopefully you're cozied up with your special someone at that point, so it doesn't matter how hard it's projecting. But performance does lack a little bit, but the scent profile is worth absolutely every single penny. Love this fragrance. One of the sexiest ones in my collection, and definitely worth checking out. That's Yves Saint Laurent's La Nuit de l'Homme. All right, next up on the list, we have a fragrance that's one of my new gourmand favorite style of fragrances. It's from the house of LATTAFA. It's LATTAFA Pride's NEBRAS. Now you can pick this one up for about $35, and this is just such a rich, sweet, sexy, playful, opulent style of fragrance. I've already done a full review of this. I will leave a link down in the description if you decide you want to check out the full review on this. But basically what you're getting is just a gorgeous gourmand style of fragrance. It's red berries, it's orange, it's cacao, vanilla, sugar, tonka, and amber. This opens up very sweet with this sugar note that comes through mixed with those red berries. Soon you get that orange and that chocolate kind of mixing together, almost like those chocolate Christmas oranges that you smash and you eat the little chocolate slices from it. Has that sort of kind of scent accord to it, mixing with those red berries and that sugar. And as this develops and dries down, you get a lot of vanilla coming through, very creamy style of vanilla. Basically like a red berry chocolate cake, absolutely smothered in vanilla cream. Absolutely delicious. Like I said, sexy, rich, opulent. It has this like density to it, but also at the same time a little bit of a softness to it. This is a unisex fragrance. I think both males and females can pull this off. It does kind of straddle that line between masculine, feminine style of fragrance, but you're going to smell absolutely delicious, and that's the goal. You want someone to think you are absolutely delicious and take you home because you smell like a chocolate cake covered in vanilla cream. Performance on this, fantastic. I get 10+ hours of longevity off this, no problem. And the first 2-3 hours, you are just blasting out chocolate cake covered in vanilla cream. Absolutely gorgeous scent profile on this. Scent bubble on this is fantastic. Bang for your buck, this is just one of my best pickups for gourmand style fragrances. If you're into those kind of sweet style of fragrances, those gourmandy, sweet, rich style of fragrances, this is definitely worth checking out. That's LATTAFA's NEBRAS. All right, and last, but certainly not least, we're moving into a more mysterious, seductive style of fragrance, and that is ZADIG and Voltaire's This Is Him. Now you can pick this up for about $60 at discounters, and this is just one of my absolute favorite date night fragrances. It's one of my favorite fragrances just in general. I'll just wear this around the house just because I want to feel like a sexy, mysterious style of man. Absolutely love the scent profile in this. It opens with this awesome combination of black pepper and grapefruit that just contrasts but works together so well, and I just love the uniqueness of this opening. It has that black pepper spiciness, and it mixes with this bright, tart, citrusy grapefruit, and it's just balanced off just perfect. Soon you get some incense that comes up from the mid, adding just a little bit of smokiness to that combination, and as this develops and starts to dry down a little bit more, you get this beautiful, rich, opulent style of vanilla that works in there, and in the dry down you're left with just this awesome smoky vanilla sitting on this rich, soft style of sandalwood, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Seductive, mysterious, a little bit of spice mixed in there, and just a super bold and masculine style of fragrance. Ultra sexy. This is definitely going to be a head turner. Performance on this, 7-8 hours of longevity off my skin, and the projection for the first hour and a half is pretty heavy before it does settle back in. This can be a room filler if you overdo on the sprays. It just has that spicy smokiness to it in the very beginning that it can push out a little bit hard and be a little aggressive. So just take it easy on the sprays. You don't need to overdo it. You want people to come closer to you. That's the whole point of the date night. Awesome, awesome fragrance. I think for $60, this is just absolutely worth every single penny. If you haven't checked it out, I definitely think you should. It's ZADIG and Voltaire's This Is Him. So there you have it. That's 7 panty drop-in sexy man style fragrances that I think you should know about. And all joking aside, I know I was riffing at the beginning of this video and trying to make jokes and be funny, but the fragrance does not make the man. That's just kind of a nice cherry on top. It's all about how you treat other people. It's all about how you treat yourself. So that's what you should be focusing on first and foremost. The fragrance is not going to get you what you want out of life. It's just going to add that little kind of accentuating point on being a really good person, working hard, staying on your purpose. So focus on that first, smell fantastic second, and you're going to do just fine. And I want to hear from you guys. What's one of your favorite sexy date night style fragrances? Comment down below. Love hearing from you guys. Love getting all your different recommendations. Appreciate you. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.